it was a conversation where I just felt like I was being slapped. Like I was just being slapped. Like, you know how you're just being slapped by your mother? That's how it was. Hi guys, good morning and welcome to a new vlog. So today I'm going to be getting ready for, I have a lot of events today. First, I have been up since 5 a.m. today. And 7 a.m. 7 a.m. to this day, Saturday, and I'm not working today, so I've been up since 7 a.m. But I've been on the phone, I've been baking, I've been writing since 7 a.m. Now it's almost 2. I want to start getting ready because we have family weekend in church today, and then I have a friend of mine is having a birthday party today. So I was supposed to have one of my friend's son's birthday is today too, but I mixed up the time because her time before was 2 p.m. So I was like, okay, cool, it's fine. I can go for the birthday, go to church, and then from church go to my other friend's dinner. And then she changed the time to 7 p.m., 6:30. But my friend's birthday dinner is 7:30. And I agreed before I checked the time. So I had to send her a message today and say, you know what, I don't think I'll be able to make it for the second birthday, but I'll try to make it to see her before one of these days next week. On the days I close early, I assume. So I'm getting ready for all of those things that I've just said. I've had to put out fires and spend, oh my god, hair influencers. You guys are doing amazing. Every time I have to do my hair, I think about the stress. And for some reason, combing my hair today, my hair was just looking very natural. I was like, when did we get natural? Why is my hair stretching and springing and everything? It was so natural. And then I remember that the last time I relaxed my hair was over a year ago at this point. So I'm going to have to do that. But I washed the hair and look at, I spent almost 2 hours braiding this hair down. I cried, I shouted, I yelled at pants and humans, and it was just interesting. But I want to get ready now, so yeah, I said that a lot, so let me actually start getting ready. And while I'm getting ready, I also wanted to do a quick chat about my Bible study guide, which is now out. I am so excited about this thing because you have no idea. When God puts something in your heart to do sometimes it's like it doesn't even want to hear the question of how am I going to do it or anything. It's like you do this thing and what you're supposed to say is yes sir, yes Lord, I am going to do it. And then you start the journey and you're like, why did I agree to do this? Why did I agree? I kid you not, this book has been in the works for over a year now. Yeah, started the process with my mom, but God had other plans. And then I was like, now I can't even give up. Now there is no point in giving up because what are you going to tell her? Well, anyways, yeah, so let's get started with this makeup and then I'll start the chat. Another problem with this hair that I've now done is that I have to start wearing wigs again and I'm not even ready for it. Okay, so the gospel according to Luke. I started reading the book of Luke. I've done free Bible study groups with the study of the book of Luke, and it has always been, every time I read that Bible book, there's always something that I take from it. Something is always coming out of it. And why I started with the study of Luke is because my original plan was that this study guide came out before Christmas, so that you have a study to do towards the birth of Christ, which is December 25th. And the study has 24 chapters, which is one chapter of Luke, and then like that. So that was the initial plan. But somewhere along the line, I think actually in August, I realized that in September, I realized that I couldn't focus on it as much as I wanted to because of trauma and all of the things that was going on. And so because of that, my deadline kind of changed, my timeline changed. I was running away from it. I actually was running away from it. And then one day I was just like, wait, you know that you running away from the thing is going to be disobedient. Like, you're just going to be disobeying God. And we're not into the lifestyle of disobeying God. So I continued it, but at this point, timeline had changed. I couldn't finish it again for December. So, and the God just said, I'm not telling you to work on this thing for you to be a Bible study guide that they can only use in December. It's a Bible study guide that helps people to understand the Bible going forward. There are other Bible study guides that we're going to work on, but it was important to start with this one because it was one that kind of expounds on the relationship that Jesus wants to have with us, and the relationship that he already put out there for us to see that it's possible to have. But us being humans, we want to make everything difficult. We want to make life difficult, including life with God difficult. And so the book of Luke was just that book of the Bible that was important for me to kind of put out. I've always loved studying the Bible, and every time I put up a vlog or something where I'm showing how I do my Bible study, I recently put a video of journaling as well. If you have any questions on journaling, please let me know. I'm working on a video to talk about prayer journaling. So if you have any questions on that, please put it in the comments. And so a lot of people struggle with studying the Bible because they don't even know how to go about it. One, they don't even know where to start from, and then they don't know how to go about it. I've always grown up reading the Bible, but there was a period where reading the Bible was like I was reading a storybook. So I was just reading it to know the stories of the Bible, not because I was expecting to hear a word from it or to get a word I was going to work towards. And that's how a lot of us still read the Bible. So because of that, it became important for me to do a proper dive on how to go about that. And that's why I took it. I didn't take it upon myself. It was put on me to work on a study guide that would help people to ask the questions that they need to ask when reading the Bible and focus on the parts that they need to focus on when reading the Bible too. Okay, let's get this base done and then come back because time is going. Okay, so base is done and we can continue our conversation. One of the things that I thought about when I was working on the book was that who's going to buy it? Who's going to want to read it? And one of the things that I have noticed about the things that God tells me to do specifically, I'm talking for myself, is that once I start to, and I know that even saying this, some people will be saying like, oh yeah, that's how social media works or anything. But that's not it. Once something is dropped in my heart to do and I start to question it, God doesn't argue with me. He doesn't go, oh, you know what, let's reason together. It doesn't do that. It's just like, I've told you to do this thing. I'm going to show you other people that I have told to do this thing as well. It's always like, oh my God, you're getting flogged by the Holy Spirit. That's what it always feels like. So I started to ask questions like, oh, who's going to buy it? And I don't have that kind of influence and all of that. And that conversation was a very deep conversation. It was a conversation where I just felt like I was being slapped. Like I was just being slapped. Like, you know how you're just being slapped by your mother? That's how it was. The Holy was just hitting me here and there. It was just like, you this child. Anyway. So I was just there like, what, I don't have the influence to pull this up. People that should see it will not see it, and all of those things. And he was like, is that what I've told you to do? And I was like, okay, you wait, let me show you people that I have told to do this thing that are doing it, and then why it is in your hand to do now. So I was just randomly going on social media, because on Instagram to be specific, because that's where I go to. Before there, as in at that point. Now I'm on TikTok, but I used to be on Instagram at that point. And then it was just like, okay, first time I came across somebody saying Bible, like a Bible study guide, like a group of people talking about the Bible study guide. And then after that one, next one was like somebody talking about they want to start studying the Bible, but they don't know how to go about it. And then it was just like a couple of reels just pointing at this thing, like, okay, so if say there are 1,001 people that I have given this assignment to, there are also 1,001 people that need this assignment to be done. You had better do it, or somebody else is going to do it, and it's still going to get done, whether you like it or not. So I picked up my computer and got back to work. I was like, okay, here we go. And then something that was very clear, which is one of the things that pushes me on social media as well, is I haven't sent you to be looking for influence or numbers or anything. The work that I put in your hand is what you should do. Focus on it. Whoever is watching, the people that are watching that need to hear you are watching and they're hearing you. So I was like, that's why this year I've just been like, this year I am not looking at anybody. I'm not aiming to please anybody when it comes to doing what I need to do on social media. I was having a conversation with my dad some time ago, and I was like, I put a short reel, and on that reel it was me getting, I think it was just a morning routine reel, but there was a I'm going to have it somewhere on the screen. There was a audio under it, and my dad called me and he was like, must you be eating on social media or something? And I said it wasn't the message wasn't in the, and I said the message wasn't in the video. No, so I put the message in the caption and in the audio, and then he commented and he said, powerful write-up. I said thank you. And then he calls me later in the night and he was like, must you be eating on Instagram and all of that? And I said, but you said it's a powerful write-up. He said, yes, the write-up is powerful, but the video. I said, but it's not the video that I want you to watch. The video is to grab your attention, which he did. And you read the message and listened to the audio. Did you not? He said, yes. I said, so the message was delivered. He just looked at me and was like, you this girl. Anyway, continue what you're doing. Okay, before. So, back to what I was talking about. Yeah, he did a good job with my Bible study guide actually. He's so proud. Like, you know, this proud father moment where they're like so proud of you, but they can't say it too much so that your head doesn't start to swell. That's where he's at. He edited the book for me as well. So I just said, I just got to a point where I was like, you know what, I'm doing this because, and Pastor Mildred's voice, for the audience of one, I'm doing it for one person. And if he's happy with what I'm doing, then that's perfect. That's fine for me. So that's the story of how we put our back into doing the Bible study guide, and I'm so pleased at it. So that's it. So did I face challenges? I absolutely did. I had thousands, not thousands actually. I had long nights and short days because most of the time that I had to do the work that I needed to do on it were in the nights because of work and then other things. So I was mostly staying up late at night. I had a lot of days of headaches because I wasn't sleeping right and sleeping properly. So there were days where I was getting out of the house with 4 hours of sleep. There were days where my sleep was like 8 hours all through the week. I was talking to a friend one time and I was like, I think I've only gotten 10 hours of sleep this week. Because when there's an assignment that needs to be done, it's like you have to do it. There's a passage that talks about it when you have to do the work. Like, you do the work now while the day is still bright or something. What's that verse? Oh my God. Like, night comes when no one man can walk. I'll put it on the screen. That's how it felt for me, especially because of the break I took from it. And I was just like, yes, do it. So when I finished the book, and I started to think, I was like, oh my God. Another thing for me with the book was like, God was very specific about it. I've not told you to do this thing because you want to make profit from it. The work is that it sends the message. It helps people to understand the Bible and helps them to read the book that you're talking about. So next Bible study guide is going to be on another chapter or another book of the Bible or different themes. Like, there are just different ways, and I think that it was important for me to take this first step to have and to be confident in what I need to do going forward. Confident in the sense that trusting the assignment that is in my hand, and trusting that it's not my work. I'm just writing as he has instructed. I am not writing for myself, for my glory or anything. I'm writing it so that people can see it and say, oh, this is what was meant by this parable. Oh, this is what God meant for us with this and all of that. That's the main aim, that's the objective of it. It's not for any glory or anything. And so that's why even putting it out, I struggled to put it out. It was my friends that were like, you have to start talking about this book. You have to start talking about it. My best friend was with me when I was editing, going through the last phase of editing. And she was like, Toby, this book is going to be so amazing. You have to talk about it. And I was looking at her like, because I know that she knows me. So she knows that I will do something and hide. So I was like, you know what? You're correct. I'm going to put in as much as I can to make sure that this book reaches the people that it needs to reach. So even if that means that I am doing things that I'm not comfortable with in the sense of talking about the book, then I'm going to do that. And my prayer with it, like I honestly, there were days of praying, there were days of fasting, there were days of communal prayer. It was just a lot because it's birthing something that is not your own. It's birthing something that God has said is going to reach people and preach the gospel. And preaching the gospel in these days is because you're preaching undiluted. You're not preaching the fancy Gen Z kind of gospel. You're preaching it according to how it's said in the Bible. That's why I didn't change the title of the book. I'm like, this study is called what is called in the Bible, Gospel according to Luke. So it tells you exactly what Luke says, but makes you ask questions and makes you to kind of just have a better understanding. Read it and not read it like a storybook, but see parts that you have to study, parts that you have to pay attention to, and all of that. I'm going to finish up my makeup now and then come back and wrap up, probably show you the book and kind of how to use it as well. So this is it, the Bible study guide. This is how Amazon brought it to me. So this is what I mean by each chapter is like this. So you can write in it what happens when we are the hindrance to our prayers being answered. Have you ever been a hindrance to the answers to your prayers? What did you do that seemed like you were holding God back? Your response here. So that's basically what it looks like all through. I'm so excited about this thing. I know that it's going to be a blessing to a lot of people. And so yeah, that is it.